Dark days, overwhelmed, trapped in a maze. Small business owner, stress had me in a daze. Every problem piled up, couldn't catch a break. Thought I couldn't make it, my dreams were at stake. But then I found a group that changed my whole perspective. Our success group of a community so effective. We all chasing that dream, sharing struggles and fears. They understood my journey, wiped away my tears. Together we broke through, we rise above. No more feeling stuck, we're fueled by love. Our small business is shining, reaching new heights. With the support of our success group, we're taking flight. The power is strong, the vision's so clear. Building our dreams with no more fear. Together we're resilient, unstoppable force. With our success group.
Let's talk some business.
All right. Hello, welcome in. How are all of our business rock stars doing out there today? Welcome into Small Business Saturdays. I'm Aaron Montgomery, and this is my amazing wife, Kylene Montgomery. How are you doing today, Kylene?
I'm doing well today. Happy Saturday. And happy Saturday to all of you listening. And we're thrilled to have you guys join us today. And we want to hear from you throughout the show. So to start us off, just let us know where you're tuning in from and if you have a business, what your business is all about.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know. Let's get the energy up here. We'll play a little more music here for just a moment. But while we're doing that, I tried to encourage Kylene to stand up like me because, we get our dance on and everybody wants to see me dancing. I'm sure of that, right?
I'll do my famous head bob.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully you guys are having a great Saturday. Obviously, we're having a good time. Good afternoon to Chuck. Good afternoon to Jerry. Thank you guys for tuning in. Do us a favor and make sure you go out there and share this. Don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your fellow entrepreneurs out there. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and you can get to that easily just by going over to liveosg.com. So we will bring that music down here. Kylene, where are we going to dive in at here today?
Well, for those of you that are here with us already, or maybe even when if you're watching the replay, we'd love to start off with a quick business tip.
Yeah, perfect. You guys are here for information, not for my dancing and so
my head bobbing
and your head bobbing, right? So let's get that out of the way right away. Just this little tip, and actually, this is something that you taught me, Kylene, the value of celebrating, right? Because far too often we don't accomplish the things we say we're going to accomplish to ourselves, right? This is the day I'm going to start that diet. This is the day I'm going to get everything on my to-do list done. Mm-hmm. All of these we don't do it intentionally, right? That is our intention, is to get those things done, but reality happens and then we don't accomplish those things. And then we start feeling bad for ourselves and, now we did nothing. And that's typically where we go. I mean, that's the common mindset is, well, I didn't get everything on my list done, therefore, right? And again, this is something Kylene really taught me about. And so what we need to do is we need to be able to celebrate these wins along the way and understand that we've got something to celebrate. So here's the tip to help you stay motivated is to make sure that every day you set something that's small, but achievable, but stretches you a little bit, right? It's about finding something that you can accomplish, that you can absolutely accomplish and be proud of at the end of the day. But you also have to balance that out with the need to do a little bit more, right? So what is something you can put on your list and make this something that you do every day, right? Maybe it can grow and increase over time. But let's say, for example, you're trying to, eat a little healthier, right? Well, my challenge that I always put in front of myself was I was going to go from I'm eating terrible to I'm eating the most healthy diet in the world. And that wasn't sustainable. And so I never felt like I accomplished anything. But what I did is I said, okay, no more soda, no more brown soda actually is where I started. And, I do pretty good at that, but then I have these, I fall off again. So go back. What can I have that same thing in our business, right? okay, maybe we didn't accomplish everything on our list today, but did I engage with one customer today? Did I go on social media and reply to a potential customer or be involved in a conversation that was meaningful, as opposed to just saying, yeah, I like pineapple on my pizza kind of thing? Um, that's the type of thing. So just set something, because here's the reality of it, Kylene, and this is why I've learned this to be so crucial, and you've helped me learn this, is no matter how well we plan out our day, no matter how intentional we are, et cetera, hard things are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're out of our control. And therefore our days are not going to go as planned. And no matter how hard we try, again, they're out of your control. So what we do control are our choices, our thoughts, and our actions. So set yourself up for success by having one accomplishable goal a day. So when somebody says, hey, what's new and good? Or what'd you accomplish today? What are the wins we're celebrating together? You can say, oh, well, I didn't drink soda today. Right? I didn't drink brown soda today. I engaged with a potential customer. And then what starts happening is then you also then can see all the other things that you accomplished too. So, yeah, summarize that for us, Kylene.
I mean, it's really about those little wins every day, celebrating them, realizing that you're actually developing a habit because you're paying attention to all the little steps that you do. Because if we only focus on the end, well, guess what? That end might not happen for a year, might not happen for 5 years. Who knows when? So if you never celebrate and enjoy the journey, you're kind of missing the big picture about living your life and truly enjoying every day and making the most of it.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, Jerry says, I require myself to do 10 eBay listings with minimum ASP of $25 7 days a week. It's really working great for me. Yeah. Nice job.
Good for you. That's awesome.
There you go. Consistent action. That's all it takes. That's awesome. Good job. All right. Well, where do you head from here, Kylene?
Yeah. So for today's topic, the question we have is, why did you start your business? And this isn't just like the surface level, but deeper, like understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. It really can transform our mindset and provide us clarity and bring more passion to our business. So we want to know, why did you start your business, and kind of dive deeper into that.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, Doug, I like your comment there. We'll share that one. I'm going to hold on to it though. So we're coming back to it. So Kylene, like you said, our big question here is, why did you start this business? And so we do want to hear from you guys that are tuned in live right now, or even if you're watching the replay later on, or listening to the podcast version of this, try to jump in there and comment. What is your why or reason, right? And go deeper than just to make money. We want to know why this business specifically. What do you love about getting to be the business owner of this particular business? So share in the comments here as we go along. And here's why this is kind of a crucial step, Kylene, that we want to make sure that people are thinking about. This is why we kind of, as we rebooted Small Business Saturdays here, we felt like this was a great place to start, because being a business owner, it requires self-belief, resilience, and determination, actually both together, resilience and determination, and also a proactive growth mindset. Now, those things are possible, but ultimately, and I'll tell you why here in a second, without clarity of why we're doing this, it's not easy to sustain and ultimately not possible. The brain science around this actually is really fascinating, and the brain science around the fact that our drive and motivation is also really interesting. And most of us have it backwards, right? And I think it's just a societal kind of pressure, right? We have to hustle and grind, fake it till you make it, those types of things. That's been so prevalent. We have to 10x everything. And the prevalence of that is great. I understand the need to take action, but the reality is brain science tells us that those things are actually backwards to the way we need to go. And what we need to do is what we're going to talk about here today. Now, let me dig into the brain science of this just a little bit. Within our brain, right, the latest science, at least what I've read, there's 3 major areas. Now, we're not going to get too deep into that, but there are 2 of those areas that we would consider the makeup of our subconscious brain. right? And if you're not familiar with subconscious brain, that's kind of the brain that activates in the background, right? When I, as a kid, I remember growing up saying, "Oh, we only use like 5% of our brain power." Well, the reality is we use 100% of our brain power. We just only have control over 5% of it, and the other 95% is our subconscious, right? And then we have our conscious thoughts, which is that other part of the brain. And so when we talk about controlling our thoughts, that's the area that 5% there is what we can be intentional with. Those are the thoughts we can control. Now, the subconscious, on the other hand, is not controlled by language, what we can go, okay, subconscious, I'm going to force you into going a certain way. It's controlled by our emotions. So I can be upset and have these negative thoughts, but then on the outside, I'm saying, "Oh, I'm happy. Everything's good." Right? Your subconscious goes, "Nah, not true. I get it. I know the real." The subconscious says, "I know the real truth." Right? So our subconscious is controlled by our emotions and our feelings. Now, that whole setup, it seems to be intentionally designed that way because of the processing power of each of those sections. So the research has shown that about 40 to 50 bits of information a second. So if you were to compare our brains to a computer, right, we can only, through our conscious brain, through what we can control, we can only process about 40 to 50 bits of information per second. Now, on the flip side of that, our subconscious mind, it can actually process around 11 million bits. So 40 to 50, like little 40 to 50 to 11 million bits of information per second is how much our subconscious brain processes. And when you think about that, right, we need that to happen because while I'm talking, maybe I'm reading something, maybe I'm eating a sandwich, maybe I'm whatever, I got to keep breathing. I got to be looking out for danger. There's a lot of other things that go on that I don't have to consciously think about, yet I'm still alive, right? I can walk. I don't really think about moving my hands necessarily. I can intentionally go, okay, I want to lift my finger here. But for the most part, as I'm talking, things are just happening. And that's all controlled by my subconscious. And so we would not be able to be intentional about anything if we had to process all that information at one time. So the subconscious, in a way, acts like a filter for us. And this matters to us because our subconscious is in charge of our habits, right? The things that we do. My hand movements came out of habits, right? The way that I speak, the fact that every once in a while I say right. That's a habit that's just been built up over time. And now, while we can intentionally, with our conscious thoughts, suggest changes to those habits, suggest changes to our comfort zone, your subconscious needs more than a fleeting desire to hustle and grind. Its number one responsibility is to keep us safe and alive. So it's not going to expend any extra resources at all to take any risks unless it believes there's a future benefit for us, right? So I know that's a lot of brain science there, but I wanted to pause a moment, see if there was anything you needed to add before I keep going.
No, I mean, it's really about learning and bringing that awareness to how we're feeling. And then we can make those changes of what our subconscious is doing so we can bring more awareness there.
Yeah. So perfect. So for those of you listening in, again, still want to hear what your why is, what your reason for starting your business has been. Because again, our subconscious needs more than, just to make money. Right. It needs to, it needs to have a little bit more than that, right? Because again, we can't lie to it. Our feelings and our emotions are what controls it. So we can lie to ourselves. We're going to lie to our conscious thought, but we can't lie to our subconscious. And you're basically asking your subconscious to give you extra resources so that you can survive the risk. You can do something hard. You can gain that extra motivation that you need to work a little bit harder. You can expend further mental capacity to grow and learn. And your subconscious will go, nope, not interested. There's an easier way to make money. Go work for somebody else. We continue to Netflix and chill, get that paycheck every 2 weeks, no problem. Right. So it really, for your subconscious, it comes down to that perceived gain versus perceived pain. And on the flip side of that, though, this is where it really gets exciting, because when we do have deep clarity, we're rooted in the passion of what we're doing, then we can also visualize that clear path to success. And your subconscious goes, oh, that's the feeling. Yeah. Okay. I feel that success. Yeah. We definitely want that. That'll bring us more, opportunities. That will bring us more abundance. That we'll be able to survive and thrive. Right. And so your subconscious goes, okay, now I see it. And not only does it allow you that extra energy that gives up those resources that you're asking for, but now it becomes a partner with you as well, because it sees it and it's saying, okay, I'm going to work in the background to solve the problems, to show you new ideas. Right in the shower, boop, your subconscious goes, oh, by the way, I just solved that issue for you. And it just happens to be while you were focused on something else. Right. Because when our intentional thoughts are at the forefront, our subconscious is not going to get in the way of that. Right. So we have to stop overthinking it before our subconscious can come and get in there. And that's super cool, because after all, it can process 11 million bits of information per second, even when you're sleeping. Yeah. So it's incredible how much just that change of mindset to go, why am I doing this? How much that changes things.
Yeah, it really is amazing. And really for us, what's even so exciting for us, and why we really are passionate about sharing this with others, is because we've seen people put in the effort to clarify their reason. We've seen the huge changes it's made for us as well as for those people. So we've seen it work, and it's amazing. You can feel it inside of you too when you're clear about what it is your reason is.
Yeah, for sure. And trust us, we know what you're going through, right? We have the struggles, we have the doubts, we have the challenges that seem impossible. But I know for me and for you as well, Kylene, each time we go back to that reason, it feels like it melts away, right? The reality is it's not melting away. You're actively, overcoming the challenges. You're actively, dealing with the struggles. You're facing the doubts and moving on. But it seems more simple when you're coming from that reason. And so it almost feels like it's melting away, right? So within the book, the Fundamentals of Business Success book, and the programs that we offer about that structure, the fundamental programs we offer about that structure, we found an extremely direct path to gain the clarity on this. In fact, back in June, Michelle's here, she said, my why involves a creative outlet in helping others while making money, right? And that's a really good point, Michelle, because as I said, it's not just about making money. There's other ways to do that. But when we fulfill our passion, yes, we should get resources, and that can and should include money, right? So it can all tie in there together. But back in June, we had 6 people we were able to work with in that in-person Fundamentals Live that we did here. Just not announcing it, but kind of announcing it in October, happening again. So put it on your calendar, October 10th, 11th, and 12th. Anyhow, we were able to work with them, and it took us about an hour and a half, Kylene, to kind of really dig into it. And, for both of us, I mean, for me, took 5 years to get to that point, right? So to be able to condense that down into an hour, right? And here's what really blew me away, Kylene, watching people like Michelle, like Allison, like Becky, like Angela, like Sarah, like Tanya, watching them grow when they're focused on their reason or their why has been incredible, right? Now, there's times where things aren't going so well, and you kind of got to remind ourselves, hey, let's get back. What's that reason, right? Let those challenges come through that, as opposed to trying to fight it on your own. But it was pretty incredible, right? And so not only does clarifying your reason then improve your mental capacity, as I said, we have this help from our subconscious now, and it improves our abilities, and it can also make a pretty huge impact on our wellness, right? Now, Kylene, I know this is an area that obviously with Rise, Shine, Smile, excuse me, I got a spam phone call there. I thought I had my phone turned off. not only do you focus on this, but this is an area that you shine. You help people with movement, with yoga, and mindset all at the same time. So we want to break Small Business Saturdays down into segments. So we've kind of hit on the mindset segment. Will you lead us through the wellness segment here?
Oh yeah, most definitely. So I just wanted to start with my why. So like Aaron said, for us, this has been a years in the making, and it still can kind of evolve still over time. So that's the other cool thing. But where mine why is to encourage positive transformation and motivated people with mind and body healing. And for me, being able to put that into words with what I do, it just fills me up inside and gives me that direction. But really what's happening is when I finally got clear about what it is, I felt motivated. I felt like my message was coming out clear. I knew what I was supposed to be doing instead of trying to do a little bit here and there and everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So when we're clear about our why and our purpose, we begin to have less internal struggle, because we've all been doing things before that doesn't quite feel right, but you go through the motions anyway. But when you have that clarity, you begin to do the things that actually feel right. They are in alignment with our why. So with the wellness side, it's not just eating healthy, if people think of wellness like that. It's really your whole life. It's creating those healthy habits to keep us moving forwards, because we all know when we're feeling good, we do good and we have more success in our life. Business.
It's so simple, isn't it? It's crazy how simple it is.
It is. And then sometimes when life starts coming at us, what do we give up first? Some of those things that really make us feel good and continue to help us move forward. So really, if we can be intentional with creating some of these good habits, it just allows us to have more successes, and it really unlocks our creativity, our energy. We feel more fulfilled. We have that joy again because we have that spark of passion in what we're doing. It comes across with the energy that we're sharing with the world. And that then it allows us to step outside of our comfort zone a little bit easier, because my favorite quote, if you guys don't know, is "Everything you want is on the other side of fear" by Jack Canfield. And I think it's so true. We can stay in our comfort zone. We can stay in our little bubble, which, as Aaron knows, I had a pretty strong bubble. It took me a long time to get outside of that. But when I got clear, when I realized when I'm in that zone of brightness, when I am in alignment with my why and don't have that internal struggle, it's a lot easier to take that little step forward. But just overall, having that holistic approach allows us to thrive in our life, not just survive. You can't be just all in on one thing and then let your health go. We got to create some kind of a holistic approach to it. And we've talked about balance before. It's never a 50-50 type of scale. There's going to be moments where it's a little bit heavier over here and a little bit lighter over here. And that's okay. It's just about having some of those healthier habits moving forward.
Yeah. And I love that holistic approach idea, because again, there is too much of a good thing. And I know you're going, Aaron, saying that out loud. That's like admitting moderation's a word.
Oh, you can say it. I heard it again.
But the reality is you can go too far the other side. Oh, I'm just going to be all in on self-care. Okay, cool. But now your business is suffering. And at some point that's going to be painful and you're going to have to deal with that, right? Would you rather, go a little heavier on self-care, but make sure I keep my business going? And, I got relationships, my family, right? I've got a spiritual side to myself. I've got to take care of my community, the people around. Like, if we can keep those in balance, then we're winning. And so this holistic approach is so crucial, but it all starts with that passion, that why. And because I know that we look at our reason or our why statement as this like business, marketing tool. it's not really what it is. It allows that, right? It definitely
Mhm.
makes that easier because you're connecting with the right people and stuff like that. But the reality is, this is just a definition of who you are and why you wake up every day, right? Why did God put you on this earth, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever it is that your belief is in that place. Why are you on this earth? And it's really important that we get that, and then keep it top of mind, right? One thing that I've noticed with the folks that we have worked with is they like it, but they're just not quite sure about it yet. But and so they're like kind of scared of it a little bit, like, oh, if it's not right, then I'm no. Your why doesn't ever change. You just uncover it, right? You just understand it a little bit deeper each time you try to go in and dig into it. So
Mhm.
I say, Kylene, this might drive you crazy sometimes, but I've got it posted everywhere. Like I'm sitting here, got a camera right here. This far over is my why statement, right? It's like right there. I could turn the camera around if you want to see it. It's the backdrop on my computer screen. I mean, it's front and center all the time. And so it's a great reminder that, when things get off track, go right back to that. So
Yeah.
that's why it brings so much wellness, I'd say, Kylene.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, truly, sorry. I have my tickle.
Yeah.
But it truly is just bringing those healthier habits. So when life is coming at us at different moments, we're responding a little bit better for ourselves to give us the outcomes that allow us to keep moving forward a little bit easier. And it just unlocks all that creativity, and our why is just at the core of all of it. When you know your direction, it's so much easier to just respond in a way that's going to give you a better outcome.
Yeah. I just, you're exactly right. I just got the hugest smile because I read Doug's why here. So we'll put that up here in just a second. And Michelle says, I love the holistic approach idea. Balancing everything is definitely hard, but it is important. Yeah. And, again, everything that we're talking about, what we believe are these truths and how to do this stuff and what the foundation and fundamentals are, they're hard because they require commitment. They require an uncommon mindset, but they're never complicated, right? They're always simple. Yeah. And I think if we let go of this need for it to be overcomplicated and understand that it's simple and just needs some hard work, rolling up our sleeves a little bit, then it becomes much easier. So, All right, Doug, I've got another, we'll get to yours in one second, but let's take I know you've got to grab some water, Kylene. So let's take a quick break here and see if we can, and then we'll come back and give you an action item that you can walk away with here. If I can find it. There.
Hi, I'm Lewis Montgomery. I want to tell you all about my dad's new book, The Fundamentals of Business Success. He wrote it to help small business owners like you fall in love with your business.
Hey, thank you, Lewis. Yes, that's right. I was just tired of watching these small businesses be overwhelmed, just struggling and ultimately underpaid because they just didn't have a strong foundation to build off of. They were trying to create their business the way somebody else created their business, and they were never going to catch up.
It's not just about making money. It's about having fun and building something you're truly passionate about. My dad's new book breaks down everything into a 13-step cycle with plenty of practical applications so you can start taking action right away. Grab your copy at OurSuccessGroup.com/FBS book. Whether you're just starting out or looking to spice things up in your current business, this book will become your guide. Don't miss out on your chance to get this book at the introductory price, only available at OurSuccessGroup.com/FBS book.
Thank you, Lewis. I know that makes you smile. It makes me smile every time.
It does. Yeah. And just thinking how much he's changed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to put this up here. Like I said, I was really smiling because Doug's a longtime friend of mine. In fact, he and I go way back. I mean, I was in my early 20s, I think, Doug, at the time when we met. And I'm no longer in my early 20s, so we'll just leave it at that. So I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read it. Again, shows how long we've known each other. My why is creating a goal that requires people of many disciplines watching as everyone works together to resolve unforeseen problems with creative solutions until the goal is achieved. There are a few things more satisfying to me than appreciating the talents and knowledge of my team after we've completed our goal. Right.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's Doug. I mean, and everything I know about Doug, that's Doug. I mean, he's always been great at not only building a team, but inspiring a team too.
Yep.
So, I've always looked for ways that like, man, you ever need somebody to, do your janitorial work, Doug, call me up.
You know what I liked about that is the appreciation side of it. That just really stood out to me, because we know when we appreciate what we have, you get more of it. And I just think it's really cool. That stood out to me. It's pretty awesome.
Love it. Love it. All right. So let's wrap this up. We wanted to try to keep these in 30 to 45 minutes. So I think we're doing okay.
Wow. We're at 30 minutes. That's impressive.
For me, for sure. Especially with all the words that I had. All right. So let's close this up though by hitting our third pillar. So we had mindset, we had wellness, and then we want to have foundation, right? Or what I call fundamentals. And really that's about how can we put this concept into action. And just as a reminder, I mentioned mindset was one of them. We talked about really just why it's so important to understand our why, what the actual brain science of that is. And then we talked about the wellness aspect of it, the holistic approach. And again, coming from that place of passion, being more balanced, being less stressed, right? A great deal of our health problems in this world are due to stress. It's basically, we are in fight or flight mode 24/7. And that hit of cortisol and all the stuff that goes along with that, it's great in very small doses, right? It's like free performance enhancing drugs, but you have to turn it off, right? So if you were just pumping yourself full of performance enhancing drugs all the time, it's not going to do good for you, right? It's the guys on steroids that went crazy, that kind of thing. So we're basically doing that to ourselves by being on fight or flight 24/7. And so the wellness side of this, when you're in passion, you get in flow, and you just time seems to stand still, and it's a way different place. So now this reason can play a crucial role in all of that. So how do we wrap this up? Where do we begin here, Kylene?
I mean, I think just, creating those healthy habits physically and mentally, and just being true to yourself, you can truly thrive in your life, not just survive. I think that's like what you were saying with the stress and all of that. No one wants to be in that state, but we can take the time to create these habits, to get clear on our why, and just experience all the wonderful benefits of that moving forward in our life.
For sure. All right. Well, let's give them like I said, how can we do this? Right. And as I mentioned, it took me at least 5 years. And that was from the point where I decided, hey, I really need to figure this out. Right. I mean, I spent 45 years before that, toying around with the idea. So, I kind of had gotten to a point where I decided, well, there isn't really a purpose. I was just here to work hard and keep my mouth shut. Right.
You actually said that.
Yep. And so discovering this has been truly impactful. And what we found as the best entry point is our strengths. Right. And here's what kind of slapped me upside the head after I finally figured this out was, okay, so what we're trying to discover, what we're trying to put some language to here is, what were we specifically, I was put on this earth to do something different than Kylene was versus Doug versus Michelle versus, we all have little variations and difference of what we were put on this earth to do, what our purpose is, what our why is, what our reason is, whatever terminology you want to use. And what we discovered is, and what we come to believe is true, is God wouldn't put us on this earth without giving us the strengths to fulfill what he wants us to do. Right? So he's not that kind of a jokester, right? or source energy or universe or her, whatever, whoever you believe is that entity that put us here on this planet. And therefore, if we go and figure out what our strengths are, that's going to be the biggest clues to what we're supposed to be doing. And that was like eye-opening for me. I think that was really the thing that unlocked it. And I didn't discover it from that vantage point. I just had somebody help me figure out what my strengths were. And that was when like the universe opened up, right? It was like this aha moment. So real quick, what's your kind of thoughts on that?
Well, I think sometimes we know what our strengths are, but sometimes we don't have the language to attach to it.
Yeah.
And so when you have that barrier between expressing how you're feeling, when you use some of the tools out there to find your strengths, that we've shared about or talked about, it just allows you to really explore that in greater detail. And that, again, unlocks even more doors for you to get even clearer about your purpose in life. Because we all have unique gifts and we're supposed to share them. So,
Yep. Exactly. And Jerry says that's why God gave us all different strengths for a reason. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have a different strength because there's a lot of things that need to happen in this on this earth, right? And a lot of different ways that we got to take care of each other and whatnot. So I think the other part about that too, Kylene, that you shared that I think is important for us to note is when we think about our strengths, right, it can be very difficult to determine what they are because they're our strengths. We're good at it. It's second nature, right? And so, Kylene, your number one strength is?
Positivity.
Positivity, right? And you knew at your core that you were a positive person, but did you know that was your number one strength?
No.
You were just a positive person. You just thought that was who you were.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's what I know.
Yeah, but your strength is positivity, and your responsibility is to share that with the world, right? My number one strength is significance. Okay. Yeah, sure. But I always thought before I got into this, I always thought that was ego. And I was always taught, that being an egomaniac, being a narcissist is bad. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a narcissist. No, the reality is significant means to make an impact, right? To push, to do big things.
Yep.
And it has nothing to do with ego, right? You and I had a little prayer before we got started, right? God, work through us. Tell us what you want us to share. And that's significance. So go out, find your strengths. That's going to be the first place to start, right? If you're struggling with that, start there. And, there's strength finders tests out there. Clifton Strengths Finder is one that we recommend. There's another test called High Five that we recommend. Reach out to me. I've gotten really good at kind of helping interpret those things, and reach out to your people close to you in your life. Just go ask them. That was something that helped me too. I said, hey, Kylene, what am I good at? Right.
Problem solving. I think is what I said.
Yep. Exactly. So, start there. So that's the foundation, the fundamental. Start there. If you need help with that, please reach out to us. You can find us at oursuccessgroup.com. You can reach out to me directly at consultaaron.com. And so that's what we have. Before we close, I did want to get Doug's earlier comment. He says, I just thought this was a really good tip. When a customer compliments your goods or services, your only response should be, I'm sorry, what did you say? Just pretend like you didn't hear them. And it forces them to repeat the compliment. They'll believe themselves selling your stuff more than they tried to sell your stuff, right? So they're
nice.
I love that. Really good idea.
That is a good tip.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Doug. All right. Well, Kylene, good stuff today. Thank you, all of you rock stars out there, for joining us. As we wrap up, we'd really love to hear from you. What's the main thing that you plan to implement, and or what was your biggest takeaway from today's show? Please share it in the comments, share it with your friends, share this show with your friends and tell them what you took out of it. Just engage and grow. I think we can lift each other all up. A rising tide does lift all boats. So,
yeah. Yeah. And just remember, implementing even one small change in your life can make a huge difference for you. And like Aaron said, if you enjoyed today's episode, just hit the like button and share it with other entrepreneurs out there. We'd love to.
Yeah, for sure. And again, we really appreciate you guys' time. I know it's a Saturday, and so maybe you got family stuff going on, but for those of you that were able to tune in live, just appreciate your time. We want to give you guys a free gift for spending some time with us. So if you head over to oursuccessgroup.com, let's see if I even got a banner. I should have probably put a banner up, but I didn't. It's okay. oursuccessgroup.com/SBS. You can get a free white paper over there. It's something that Kylene put together. And it will help you identify any anchors that are holding you back. So I did get it in. I'll get it in the comments there. Awesome. And so make sure you get over there to oursuccessgroup.com/SBS to get that free white paper.
Yeah. And we're here every Saturday to support you and thriving in your business and your life. So we really, truly appreciate you all and your support. And we want to keep this going and keep having fun with it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Kylene, until next time, make sure that you guys out there tuned in, both of us too, Kylene. Let's stay motivated. Let's stay focused. And don't forget to celebrate a win each and every day. Next week, we are going to discuss the idea of empowering ourselves, right? So personal empowerment, it's really a crucial next step here. And so we're going to share some strategies to increase our personal empowerment. And we're going to, again, go across those 3 pillars. And that will be happening same time next week, noon Central Time here on a Saturday. As I mentioned previously, a rising tide does lift all boats. So make sure you are a part of that rising tide. And you can do that by engaging in the comments. Head over to the Facebook group, OSG. The Fall in Love OSG is where you can find us on Facebook. So get in that Facebook group. Make sure that you're commenting. Hint, hint, Kylene. And make sure that you're helping your fellow small business owners. And the best thing you can do, believe in yourself. You can do this.
Yeah. Yeah. We believe in you. Stay positive. Keep finding something to be grateful for in your life and celebrate your accomplishments. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Dark days, overwhelmed, trapped in a maze. Small business owner, stress had me in a daze. Every problem piled up, couldn't catch a break. Thought I couldn't make it, my dreams were at stake. But then I found a group that changed my whole perspective. Our success group of a community so effective. We all chase